we are going to be working with the float property. So the float is super important. Everyone uses float. There is other ways to do the same type of thing, but float is the easiest way. And what that means is that by default, as you can see, everything goes line by line. Your divs go that way. But that's not how web pages work. We have things to the left, we have things to the right, and we need to be able to move those items around. So we use float. So what I need you to do is we're opening up our width thing. We're going to save this as positioning. So I'm going to do a save as position. And we need to delete out the fourth box because we don't need that one anymore. So I'm going to select the box itself and delete it. And then I'm also going to delete it over here. So if you remember how to delete it, we select and highlight it. And then we click on the delete here. And then we also are going to go to our code and delete it there as well. We're also going to go and we're going to change and delete all these properties that are currently on there. So I'm going to select all these and hit delete. So go ahead and do that for the rest of them. Then I'm going to change the width to 30% for each of these. So I'm going to go to the percent and change these to 30%. Go ahead and do that. Okay, why 30%? Because you take about 100% and I have 3 items, so I give it roughly 30% so I can have a little room for padding. So if you had 5 items, you might do, 20%. So you kind of have to look at it that way. Now, we want these to go side by side by side, so what we're going to use is the float. So I'm going to click on box 1 and I'm going to look for the float element. The float element is in this layout section all the way down here, and what we want to do is do float left. So on each one of these, we are going to say float left. And you can see that they nicely go in between. Now, what we might want to do is add a little padding. Let's say this was a navigation. You'd probably want to add some padding for the actual content and some margins in order to space out the buttons, or you may not, depending on whatever your design view was. So that is float. You will use it constantly, so please review. You could also Google it and look it up if you need more instructions on float. Okay, go ahead and save this as well, and you do have one more step before completion, which is to add a fave icon to your file and to your position page. So please go ahead and look at the directions on step 14 in order to complete that, and then you go ahead and zip your file, and that will be the CSS practice completed. Thank you and have a great day. Great job.